Hey everybody, welcome to Van Vita Travels. You guys know it's Paula. Weird seeing me on a Monday night, right? Back in the day, I did all sorts of ones during the week, and I've decided that I want to do more interviews of people living the nomadic lifestyle because that is my favorite part about live streaming. I love learning about them and the lifestyle and the ups and downs and the tips because someday I'm going to do this full time and I just want to learn as much as I can. One of the things that was fantastic this winter was because of our community. When I did get to go to Arizona, there were so many people that I already knew, and it's everybody that I met out there that made it the most amazing experience. We have an absolutely fantastic community. So I'm going to take a minute and say hello to everyone. Dream on Wheels, you are so funny. So, for anyone that doesn't understand what this means, if you watched Land Cloud Adventures last night, you would have seen we did some games where you guys got to assign points, and the one that lost got water dumped on them. So Travis is showing you guys how the points were assigned and taken away, and apparently he's taking away all my points, and that's probably because I accidentally egged the side of my house. I do not know. You guys need to go back, look at Land Cloud Adventures live stream from last night. It was ridiculously fun. But enough of that. I'm going to take a minute here and say hello to everybody that's come in. Let me see. We have Alan. Hey, Alan. Hello, Amanda. Amanda, I can't wait to see you in person again on the weekend. Hello, Anne and Troy with Camp Maintenance Guy. Again, Dream on Wheels. We got Hope Bus, a fellow Canadian. Janice from Oz, all the way from Australia. Land Cloud Adventures. Mo Bang for your bucks. Rescue Residents. Rescue Residents is going to be another one of those people that I'm going to have up on the live streams, and it's going to be really interesting. I have quite a few people that have reached out that are so intriguing. You guys are really going to enjoy these interviews. We got Ringo and Czar and River Styx Van Life, RVing Living Life. Welcome, the adventures of Kenny and Debbie. Good to see you guys here. The Sand Vans here, I believe, from Australia as well. And I may have missed one or two of you. If I did, I'm really sorry. Oh, Camping Therapy. Hey, how's it going? Whoa, Nelly Adventures. Hello, hello. Rescue Residents is excited. That's fantastic. So am I. So am I. So any of you out there in the chat, if you're interested in coming up on one of the live streams, just email me at vanvidatravels@gmail.com. I also want to point out that the banner along the bottom is the Believer and Achiever members that are doing amazing things, helping support the channel. So I just want to have that extra thank you for them. Yeah, I am so excited for this interview. These guys are amazing, amazing. I was going through their stuff and I'm like, they only have about 700 subscribers right now. It's not going to last long. I can tell you guys that. But they have like triple the views that I have. So we know there's some really good stuff going on this channel. So I have pinned the link to their channel at the top of the chat. You guys can see that in blue. If you need to leave for a minute, go click on that link. It'll take you directly to their channel. Subscribe to them, and then later go back and watch a video, leave a comment, let them know Paula sent you, and it'll be all good. Thin Blue Lane RV Life, hello, hello. Good to see you guys. Oh, Michelle, hi. I'm all of a sudden trying to read the chat and I'm having a hard time doing it because I can't wait to get these guys up. So, hey, Kat. Hey, Lillian. Good to see you guys here. I'm not going to waste any more time. This is RV Life with Adrian and Ruth. Hey, guys. How are you?
Hi.
Good. How you
It
doing?
is so awesome to have you on the channel. Thank you so much for doing this.
It's so awesome to be here. Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
definitely.
Oh, not a problem. You know, I was just saying how you guys have so many views, and I know you're going to just explode. But your editing is amazing. Who does the editing?
I do the editing.
I wish I could take the credit, but I can't.
she she's gonna learn little by little.
I'm trying to
Uh,
learn, though. I am.
So, Adrian, where did you learn to do the editing?
oh boy. So I've been doing video stuff for a long time. I used to do weddings, my dad had a big VHS, camera back in the day, and I used to steal it and use it and then put it back before he got home from work. And that's how I kind of learned this stuff. And then I was pretty much self-taught. So I've done weddings, some small videos, the company before. I've done some product videos for them, and just
a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
That's awesome. And you can tell that there is experience in there because it's so great. Hello, Badge. Hello, Ron. Good to see you guys here. So I just want to remind the chat that as we're going along, hey, Karen, if you have questions, please put at vanvidatravels. So for me, it highlights so I can try to catch the question. Hey, Mayhem, good to see you here as well. Oh, we got so many wonderful people in our community, and it's so nice that not only do I get to introduce you guys to them, but I get to introduce them to you. So
we appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Yeah. So you guys are empty nesters too. How many children do you have?
2.
Yep.
2
Boy,
girls.
girl.
They're both girls. One is 31 and the other one's 32.
No way.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like teenagers that just left home.
Oh God, I wish. My body says different.
And we have 4 grandkids. They each have 2 kids. Yeah.
4 grandkids.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do your kids think of you doing this?
I think they thought we were crazy at first.
Yeah, at first they did.
And we just had my youngest daughter come up for my birthday back in June, and she spent some time with us. We were in Stone Mountain here in Georgia, and my grandkids were here, and then she saw it. She goes, "Man, you guys are living the dream."
Yeah.
So they love it.
I think they didn't think we were serious at first. I didn't think we were serious at first. We were like, can we really do this? Like, can we like sell half of our stuff and just sell our house and just go? And then they were like, well, they're really gonna do it. It's funny because my oldest daughter, I watched both of her kids until the youngest went to school at 4, and until she came to pick the kids up and she saw the boxes, she says, "You guys are really gonna move?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're really gonna move." It was sad, but like we took care of them all their lives, so now it's our turn.
At some point it's your turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So everybody knows you guys have a trailer and a truck, and that's how you're RVing. Do you want to explain what your unit is and the setup for everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, I could do that. So we have a Grand Design Transcend Explorer. We got it back in November. This is our 3rd RV in less than 2 years, and that I won't go into the details on that, but we started this right before the pandemic. That unit, it was used, it leaked. We bought a brand new one. That one had issues and it leaked. So then we're like, you know what?
We just loved our
serious.
We didn't give up.
Yeah, we have a bunk room, which doesn't really get used now. It's more of my office when for my daily work. And it's a 35-foot unit. It has everything we need. I did upgrade my truck because I had like a Ram 1500, and for Florida it was great because everything's flat. But once we got up to Georgia, a lot of hills, a lot of mountains. So we got a 2500 Ram heavy duty, and it does great. And we just spent 2 weeks bouncing around all over. I mean, almost 2 months.
No, 2 months.
Bouncing all over Georgia and just trying to get experience Georgia. And because I cover from south of Atlanta all the way to Tennessee, I could live anywhere in my territory. So it's cool because I could just go anywhere I want.
Oh, that's awesome. We had a question. Was that a fifth wheel or a travel trailer?
It's a travel trailer.
Okay.
That would be the next.
I was watching some of I think it's your latest video where you were driving that, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Some of the sites that a person finds is just not big enough for you guys.
No.
Yeah.
No.
This park we went to was built in the 20s or 30s.
It was
tiny.
It was pretty nerve-wracking. Like I was like, would you be mad if we just leave? I was like, I'm gonna need to take some medication for my nerves. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Like I was practically in tears.
Well, and one of the things I was going to ask you guys, like I've watched all the problems that you guys had moving into your or like to the trailers, like the issues that you had with them, the whole process of selling the house, and you guys had COVID as well. You've
Yes.
lost like a hard drive. Do you ever just feel like giving up?
Yes. I'm not going to lie. I've said it a few times, but then when I think about it, when I think about the waking up and some of the places I've woken up in, and the freedom that it gives us to travel anywhere. And when I think about it, then I'm like, I don't think I can give that up yet.
Yeah.
But there's been a few times that I've said to him, I don't know if I can do this. Like when it's broken down, it's like, I don't know how I can do this.
The way I look at it, it's like owning a home, but on wheels. So there's
Yes.
always going to be something that you have to deal with. And it just happens that this one, you're somewhere else. Right?
And the more you travel, if you think about it, the more you travel, the more problems there's going to be.
Oh, yeah, right?
Right. Now, if we were still, that we wouldn't be able to experience it, but we wouldn't have any problems.
Right.
Yeah. And one of the things I found too, because I had a big breakdown when I went on my bigger trip, and you have a breakdown. I mean, you guys at least have a truck, but your home now
Yes.
is gone.
Yes.
Right? That's a whole different issue. And you guys would have dealt with that a couple times then.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's the reason we left that park, because
Right.
we didn't feel safe. And
I was like, this is our home.
Yeah.
If something happens, this is our home.
Yeah. Yeah. So are you guys set up for boondocking, or are you strictly campgrounds?
So we have solar panels. I have 2 solar panels. I don't know all the jargon with all that stuff yet. I have 2 batteries. I know it runs lights, it runs my fridge, and I've never run out of power doing it. We did boondock, and there's a video coming up on that.
Oh, good.
And it was super hot.
It was so hot.
Luckily, I had these Ryobi battery-powered fans, and it kind of kept us cool. But yeah, so generators in the future.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one thing for sure, because there's always some kind of temperature extreme that you're not always prepared for, right? I think a generator really answers, it has the answers for those problems.
Right. Yeah. We did. I love the boondocking. I love that we're able to go to farms. We're able to go to wineries. We have a series coming up, Tour de Vino. We have our 2nd episode. As a matter of fact, it's our next video. But so we love to do it. But it was so hot in Kentucky that I was like, I don't know if I could do this. I will admit it. I was weak.
She's a Florida girl that when we lived in Florida, she didn't go outside much unless it was the beach.
But to my defense, I am menopausing, so I get it.
Oh, I love your honesty. It does make a difference. So I hear.
Yes. So when you have your own private summer, it's kind of hard to go without AC.
Yeah.
But I will say that those fans were lifesavers.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think you learn a lot as you go of what you really need and what you don't need. Have you found a lot of stuff now that you think maybe you could go put back into storage?
So that's a funny story. We
were just talking about
a storage unit in Florida that we're getting ready to move up to Georgia because it's just too expensive down there. But because of my job and because we have no storage here, I got a little, 5x5 storage unit that we kind of roll.
I think we just froze for 1 second. It froze on my end. What was that last line you said?
Yeah, so we have a 5x5 storage unit that we keep just random things and things for my job, so it doesn't take up space in the RV. And we just kind of, switch out things like winter stuff versus summer stuff or whatever. But
it's funny, he just said earlier, do you think, and we sold a lot of our stuff, but we kept the pod. And he goes, could you sell the stuff and just whenever we decide we want to move into a house? And I was like, I don't think I'm ready to get rid of it yet. Just give me a little bit.
Right.
I still feel a little bit connected to my things. I mean, I know that's bad to say, but that would be then a little too final.
You know what? I think that's very honest though. And I think everybody goes through that. I mean, even to move from a house to a house, a person tends to downsize a lot, or you have life events. Like I just had a flood. And so there's a lot of stuff that I lost here. And it's hard. I think we're raised that the more we have, it looks like the more successful we have been. And now as adults, we can look back and go, oh my God, that is so wrong.
Well, we did. I will admit, we did downsize a lot. We sold a lot. Even our second car. So we did, and I was like baby steps. You know, we've only been full time 6 months. Just give me a little time.
7 months.
7 months. 7 months.
I think that's fair, though, right?
Yeah.
Because if you do too much at once, I think a person sometimes isn't prepared, and then you might regret it. Whereas you ease into it, it's just that little bit easier.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you guys are Navy vets.
Yes.
And did you meet that way? How was life then? Were you doing that when you had kids?
Well,
we met at a Navy town, but I was already out. He was still in.
I was actually going back in. I got out for a year, and then I went back in the Navy, and then we met by chance.
By chance.
And it's been 24 years, and we're still together. So.
Hey, we got time. I love crazy stories.
We met at of all places, and I really don't like I'm not a club person. Of all places, at an after-hours club that a friend dragged me to, and then she didn't even show up. And by chance, he was there, so I talked to him all night.
It was in Virginia Beach.
In Virginia Beach.
One of my old Navy buddies from the first time I was in, he worked as a bouncer. He's like, "Oh, let's just go over here." I'm like, "Go for a little bit." And then
it was a private club, so I said to him, I saw that he was Puerto Rican because he had a Puerto Rican flag hanging off his car, and I was like, I need to get in there to see if she's in there. I can't stay out here. And so I said to him, listen, my friend's in there. Can you get me in? I'll buy you a drink. And that was it.
I love it. I love it. That is so cute. It was just
crazy thing. I have to tell you this, and I'm not going to ramble. The crazy thing is that I thought I gave him the wrong number, but I didn't realize that I told him where I worked. So he stalked me. He stalked me.
Yeah, because she gave me an 800 number, and when I looked at it the next day, I'm like, "What is this?" But back then,
you didn't, Ruth.
I did.
Well,
I did.
In her defense, it was a real number. It was just the big
pager. But I was like, I won't respond when he calls me.
But it was like you had to leave a message, and then they typed it up. So I didn't know what it was.
Okay.
So I went and found her.
He came to my job, and my boss is like, somebody's out there. And I'm like, oh my God, I forgot I told them where I worked.
Absolutely, Lillian. Thank you guys for your service.
You're welcome. Thank you for your support.
Yeah. So you guys met. How old would you have been?
20s, early 20s.
Yes, early 20s.
Yeah.
I'm 7 years older
right away.
I'm 7 years older than him.
Yeah.
Oh, that is fantastic. Oh my God, we were so meant to meet because I'm 7 years older than Nate. And you guys look great together, so it's making me feel good.
Yep.
Yeah. And the rest is history.
Yeah, so we lived in Tampa. We've when the bottom fell out of everything, we moved to Connecticut because that's where I grew up, and then that's where I got a job with the company that I work with now. And then Florida came open, and I went there.
We moved back to West Palm to be closer to our family, and then here we are. We always wanted to retire South Carolina, North Carolina, but when we started RVing, we were like, you know what? There's so much of this country that people don't see. So many beautiful places that are free or so inexpensive right here in our own backyard, and then when the pandemic happened, we started doing weekend. And then I would find that when we would leave an RV park that we went for a couple of weeks or for the weekend, I would be like, do we have to go? And he's like, we have to go. And I was like, so
we enjoyed it.
Yeah, we
really
did. We loved it.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so cool that you guys are doing all this. Do you have any tips for the downsizing? What have you learned in this process?
That you always will bring too much stuff that you don't need.
Seriously.
No names, right?
Like, if I would tell
anybody
anything is, like, well, after having COVID and realizing that life is too short, my best friend died of COVID. I almost died. So I realized that memories are worth more than things.
Yep.
And that was really hard for me, really hard, because I'm the last of 14 and my mom is a little bit of a pack rat. So I will admit I am one too. I mean, I had things for years, but you just have to part with them. You just have to part with them. Making memories, as long as you spend time with your family and make memories, that is worth more than any object.
I agree. So we have a question. Have you guys ever been to the Pacific Northwest?
Never.
We have not, but we want to. It's on our long list of places.
So are you planning on doing this indefinitely, or do you have a time frame?
For at least the next couple of years.
We didn't set okay.
No.
So we actually looked at houses back in March, right? Because we thought that was the thing to do. Okay, we live in the RV until we figure out, where in Georgia to live, because I cover such a broad area. But then we started looking, and it's all the same things. There were 10 offers in by the time we looked at it. The prices were high. She's like, you know what? I want to enjoy the summer. I want to enjoy life.
I'm okay with living in the RV. It's less to clean.
So yeah.
I love the freedom it gives us. I love waking up next to a lake,
Yes.
or a mountain, and we can't get that. We would not be able to travel as much. We would become weekenders again, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Right now it's just whatever.
Mm-hmm. So now you're both working remotely. How long have you been doing that?
Well, I work remotely, but I have a territory, so I'm in sales. So
Right.
I have customers I have to go see, that kind of thing. So, like I said, I cover from just south of Atlanta all the way to Knoxville, Tennessee. So I travel within that area. Changes every week depending on what it is. So that's the cool part. I mean, I still have to do that because it's my job right now, but it still gives me the opportunity to do this and live this life and still have a full-time job.
I have a couple of side gigs, but I can do them from anywhere because I work from my phone.
Oh, yeah, that's handy.
Yeah.
So do you guys move to locations based on where Adrian's working?
No, because I go there all the time. So like,
Oh,
1 week I could spend the whole week in Atlanta, and then another week, like this week, I'm going up to Tennessee, and I'll be up there most of the week. So it all changes.
so Ruth will be camped with the rig though, then.
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
Now, when it gets a little, sometimes we take a break, and we have a permanent spot up in Blairsville, Georgia, which is up by the mountains by North Carolina.
Beautiful. It's beautiful here.
And so it's like our home base. And that's where we go. We don't have to worry about anything. That's where we get our mail. We hang out there for a little bit and then figure out what the next journey is going to be. And then from there, we'll go again. So like we just got here yesterday and we'll be here for a couple weeks. And then the end of August, we'll hit the road again for a little while.
Okay. Camping Therapy says they'll be meeting up with you at a vintage camper rally.
Yes, we're meeting up with her.
Yes.
She's one of our awesome subscribers.
Ah,
Yes.
very cool. I know I've been missing some of the comments that people have been making. Sometimes it's really hard to keep focusing on that when I'm just so intrigued by the things that you guys have. So working remotely, you guys have Starlink, right?
Yes.
Did you start with it? Did you decide you needed it? Like, is it making a difference for you?
That's what we're on now.
Yeah. So we're on it right now.
Yeah.
When we first moved here, our home base is where we, kind of settled for the winter a little bit for a couple months. We had it was like a dial-up, and it was very more expensive than the Starlink was, and it wasn't any better, or it actually was kind of worse. And then when we traveled, we had a 100 gig hotspot from T-Mobile, but that's limited. It's great for emails and surfing the web, or like looking on your phone, social media, or something like that.
We have three TVs here, plus 2 laptops.
You have 3 TVs in there?
Yes. Plus our 2 laptops, 2 iPads, 3 phones.
Yeah, so we have, just like anybody else would, but it works. And so when Starlink, I signed up for it back in Florida, and it was just a long wait. And then when it opened up so that you can use it remotely, I signed up for it, got it, and we tried it. We actually went to Louisiana to a friend's house in Lafayette. We stopped in Alabama and uploaded a video at the rest
from
stop.
a rest stop.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that makes things tough, doesn't it?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
But
Thank you, moderators, for catching that troll in there, you guys. It's appreciated. I haven't had one of those in the chat for a really long time. I thought people didn't care anymore.
I know, right? They don't understand that they actually help your algorithm. So,
right? Like, come back, Oh my goodness. Yeah, I have some great moderators on here. It's awesome. Definitely something you'll want to have if you start doing live streams, though.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. So, if there was something that you wanted to really let people know about your channel, what would it be?
Well, the reason we started, it's so funny, because he would have never, like I said before, I've done lives for my businesses. He never wanted to go on there. He was always like, and I was like, when we started traveling in the RV, I was like, why don't we do a YouTube channel just for our friends and family? You can edit the stuff just so we can, just kind of capture our adventures. And he's like, oh, I don't know. And so, but when we started doing it, it was so much fun, and we had such an amazing, response from our friends, from our subscribers, and from our families, that we were like, we have to keep doing this.
and she's right. I was the guy behind the camera, behind the scenes, all the time for years. Yeah. And now listen, for work, I'll stand in front of 50 people and talk all day, and I'm fine with that. But when it came to looking at that little lens, it gave me a little, But I think I'm more comfortable now, and I'm better. Yes. But it's the biggest thing is don't be afraid to start.
Yeah, definitely.
You got. If I could go back and start doing all this video stuff in a different way, where I can make it a career when I was very young, then that would have been better. Something I would have always wanted to do. But I'm kind of glad that I was able to, start this. So just don't be afraid. Just record it. They're gonna be terrible at first, but they'll get better as you go.
Hit record and walk away, because if you hit record and watch it, you'll probably delete it.
Well, you guys are really good at catching that spontaneous conversation and the emotions and the feelings, and I think that's a lot of what draws people in. I mean, you can tell that everything is very genuine that you guys are sharing on your channel.
Yes, it's funny because our channel name used to be, because one thing that I said to him, okay, we're going to do this, but we have to be real. We cannot be scripted. Yeah. And he goes, well, we have to do script so we can stay on task. And I'm like, no, I want to be real. And our name when we started was Real Life with Adrian and Ruth. That's why our email is Real Life with Adrian and Ruth.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so I said to him when we moved in the RV full time, I was like, well, now we have to change it because we live in the RV. Yeah. And that's how we became RV Life with Adrian and Ruth.
Which kind of fits more and kind of more to what our life was. So
right.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the things that we can look forward to on your channel? Do you have any certain places you're going or product reviews or?
We have some fun stuff coming up, and yes, some product reviews. We just put a stabilizer on the RV, and he did all the work.
So like
Nice.
one of the things about our channel is yes, it's RV related and everything's gonna be RV topic, but we also know a lot of people watch us and wonder, okay, how do you start a YouTube channel? What kind of camera are you using? There's little simple questions that's my thing, the techie part. So we're gonna sprinkle those in here and there on our videos. But yeah, it's gonna be just.
We have some trips planned. We are gonna. I'm not gonna say with who because I don't want to let it out. But we are collaborating with someone next year in Puerto Rico. We're gonna live in a van, so it'll be fun. Watch out.
Yep.
I don't know how I'm gonna do that because I'm not used to van life. But
you have time. Just like how long are you gonna be in the van?
Probably 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, we'll be there total of a week.
Yeah.
I still have family there and stuff like that. So
Ruth, you can do a van for like a week.
I can do it.
You're gonna be a pro by then.
I can do it. I know I can. I'll be messaging you for some help.
Hey, I'm here. I don't know what I can help you with, but I'm here.
We're planning trips up north.
Next year we're gonna go to my family's on Connecticut and some of her family in New Jersey, so we're gonna take a trip up north. Go to maybe, believe it or not, I've never been to Niagara Falls, even though I grew up in Connecticut.
Yes.
So maybe find something up there. Yeah. We're trying to plan that.
I've never been to Niagara Falls either. Can you believe that?
Oh gosh, it's been like 21 years. I was expecting my son. 21 years since I've been to Niagara Falls, but I was on the Canadian side, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe I sidetracked you a little bit. So your maybe you're not telling us all. It's a secret, but how are you ending up in the van?
We are going to fly to Puerto Rico and rent, instead of staying at a hotel, we're going to rent a van and
go from
place to place. And that's all I can say.
Yeah, just kind of show the island and through that lens.
So in a van, you can go to the rainforest over there. You can go to places that you can definitely not get to otherwise.
There's not many travel trailers over there because the roads are little and
a smaller rig will be a lot easier to get around in. I'm excited to follow along with that because that's not one of the places I see people going to on the travel channel.
No.
Right.
Plus, we want to make it to like Phoenix in our camper because we've been there, but not the Grand Canyon. We want to go that way.
Yeah.
We want to go more west.
More west, yes.
We've been up and down the East Coast and Maine to Miami and a little bit to the west, Ohio, Philly, and all that stuff. But we definitely want to work our way west.
Well, one thing, there's a lot of apps and stuff, but the West seems to have a lot more BLM land that you can camp on. That's my understanding. I've never been anywhere east in the U.S. yet, but it's on my bucket list.
Yay!
Yeah. So I'm just going to throw it out there to the chat really quick before we finish this. Is there any questions that you guys have for Adrian and Ruth? And Ruth, Adrian, do you have any questions for me or for everyone in the chat?
You guys have been so great.
They're awesome.
I saw your video of your van, and I always told him, I was like, I think I want to get a van one day. Just to have a different journey or a different experience with doing this.
Well, because he says, there's places that we can't get into with our travel trailer.
Obviously.
One of the comments, Camp Maintenance Guy said, come to the M22 meetup in Michigan. They're all YouTubers doing this lifestyle. They have a Facebook page if you want to look into it.
M22? Okay.
Yeah. And that's, I think, the 3rd week in September. Not sure. Oh, there goes my dogs. What has been your favorite morning view so far?
Oh,
I'll let you answer.
My favorite morning view. I would say that my favorite place to camp is a small little campground, and not a lot of people know about it because you can literally open your door and 100 feet you're in the water. It's beautiful. It's called Clay County, Lake Hiawassee. It's at the North Carolina, Georgia border. It's one of the most beautiful places. There's not much to do there, but
If
just
you want to
relax.
relax and watch the water and just
It's
kayak or
absolutely
whatever.
gorgeous.
Yeah. Yep. So
Oh, I can't hear.
I forgot I was muted because the dogs have been barking. I was I've been talking like that for a really long time. I was saying, isn't life supposed to be like that though?
Yes.
You know, where you just get to enjoy your free time instead of
Yes.
I don't know, feeling like I know being in the house a lot, I feel like I don't want to go somewhere. It's almost like I'm isolating myself. But when I'm out in my rig, it's like I want to go everywhere. I want to see everything. I'm outside more.
Yes.
Yep.
Have you guys picked up any new hobbies since you've been on the road?
Well, I will tell you the truth. Like that was me when we lived in the house. I didn't really want to go anywhere. I was like a couch potato. But now, like my daughters, you know, I'll tell them, or even my sister, I'll be like, "Well, we just rode our bikes, even though it's an electric bike, but still." She goes, "I have to see a picture. I don't believe you rode a bike." I'm like, "Watch the video. You watch the video, and you'll see me ride a bike." You know. Like when I tell her that we've gone like canoeing or
like she's been on a kayak, which
on a
she's never done
kayak,
before.
and she's like, "I don't believe that." I'm like, "Wait till the video comes out."
We go up here where we live. There's a lot of the Appalachian Trail goes by here, so there's a lot of
It's beautiful.
hiking areas and that kind of thing. A lot of waterfalls, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So we have a question. Do you guys bring any outdoor games with you when you're traveling?
Well, it's funny because we went to a glamp out in Ohio a couple months ago, and I said to Adrian, "We have to up our game. We need to learn how to play cornhole." I'm like, that seems to be like the game. We have to learn how to play it.
I just bought it like a week or two ago.
I know.
We have it's so easy to carry and set up, and
so we
don't have to be athletic.
Yeah.
Then we also have a dartboard because she loves darts, but I can't get the real ones because then it'll puncture the outside of the RV. But it's one of those, the plastic ones.
Right.
So we use the command strips and stick it on the side of the RV, and then we go out there and play. And then dominoes, obviously, and cards, and
So any outdoor games you guys have, any recommendations, say in the comments so we can know.
Right?
Up our outdoor game.
Yeah.
Be careful. They'll suggest things like egg toss.
Well, I did tell him that I wanted to do more like challenges because those are fun.
Yeah, they are fun, right? So we have a question from Stephen Oakey with Desert Adventures in Arizona, and they said you heard that Adrian's a salesman.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to share with us what kind of products that you sell?
So I work for his company. We make thin sets, so like cements. So like when you install tile in your house or in your bathroom, the cement that sticks it, bonds it down to, that's what we manufacture, and the grouts, waterproofings, all kinds of stuff. So I deal with a little homeowner to a giant mall or hospital.
So
wow, that's really diverse.
Yeah.
So I tease him and I say, "Oh, you sell dirt in a bag."
But he does it, and he does it well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Aaron. We have another comment here. Do you have airbags on the rear suspension to remove the drop down that comes with the travel trailer? Towing our travel trailer with our Ram 1500 always looks like the hitch is inches off the ground. So how do you guys deal with that?
So when we had, and listen, I love my truck. It was just nice.
Yeah.
But it was because it was 1500. It was either upgrading the suspension and doing all that stuff to it. But I was able to find a good deal on the truck. That's why I traded in. But yeah, I had the same thing. And there's some roads in Louisiana and some up here in the mountains where there's like seams in the cement, and then you get that bouncing and squatting, and it was bad. So now you don't really feel it with the new truck. But yeah, that's definitely airbags from what I hear from other people. They do help.
Wow. You see, and that's stuff that I didn't even realize would be an issue because that I don't have any experience with stuff like that. So it's nice to have you guys out there sharing these kinds of things, right? Because so many of us we're not prepared.
Right.
Right. And
Hello, Kelly. Sorry.
That's a good.
Oh, I thought I cut you off. You guys, you got 5 minutes to put any more questions out there, or you're just gonna have to find out from their channel, which they're going to anyways. So don't forget, you guys, I do have the link to their channel pinned at the top of the chat. It's also listed in the description below, so you guys can find them for sure. I think before you started last, I saw you had 704 subs. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, we'll see what we can, as a community, can do to change that.
This is why we love the RV community so much, because we're like a family. We're a family. We are, and that's what I love about it. You know, we can't be around our family, but everywhere we go, we meet family.
Yeah, it's always nice people everywhere you go.
Yes.
Yeah, and you guys have some videos highlighting that, right? Obviously, you're very personable to be meeting people on the road and stuff, but there is something very different about the community. It's so much more positive, and people talk to each other and they help each other, and I don't know, it's just this whole positive vibe that's so addicting.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Makes me not miss my family as much, but I still do. But
yeah. So who is the chef out of the two of you?
That's a trick question.
It is a trick question.
Because we both cook.
He likes to cook.
But I like to cook.
So I let him. I mean,
Right?
you don't have to tell me twice. I can cook, but I let him.
Yeah. So yeah, I always liked it. I like to experiment and just come up with, I call it mumbo jumbo, and just throw things together and make something that nobody else has done before or whatever.
But continue to watch, because we have been incorporating Hispanic recipes in our videos.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome, because it's a whole different way of cooking.
Yes.
Like a whole different environment and different foods, because we do see a lot of the same stuff being prepared on videos. So that's going to be really neat.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just a reminder again, you guys, the link is pinned to the top of the chat and again in the video description. So make sure that you guys go say hello. I think last I saw somebody said you're at 718 now.
Yay.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
We
much.
appreciate every single subscriber. We appreciate you guys from the bottom of our heart.
Sure.
And I appreciate you guys. I'm so glad that you were willing to come on to the live stream with me. Trust me, you know, your first live stream interview.
Yep.
Thank you so
Thank you for
much.
having
We
us.
are so obsessively grateful. We can't even begin to tell you how much.
You guys are sweethearts, and I'm blessed to have you here. I just want to thank everyone in the chat for coming out. So go ahead and grab that link right now, and I will see you guys again on Saturday night. And you guys are more than welcome to come out any Saturday night. If you want to come up on a live stream with me, we get a little bit of adult humor going on Saturday night.
We love that.
We a lot more innuendos, but these
right
guys
over
are crazy.
Over alley too.
Definitely.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, you guys are awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank
and have
you.
a wonderful night.
Thank you to all your subscribers. Thank you to everyone who joined us tonight. We love you guys.
Thank you guys.
Awesome. See you.
Bye.